You are watching Aussie Indian, and my name is Sweta Das. Now, today's episode is going to be a bit brighter than the others because we are talking about Deepavali, the Festival of Lights. It's not one of the biggest Hindu celebrations to occur all around the world, and Australia is included in that. New South Wales took the lead in the Deepavali celebrations in Australia, happening in the oldest Parliament House in Australia, that is New South Wales Parliament House. Premier Mike Baird and the Minister for Communities, the Honourable John Jaka, hosted this event in the presence of the Consul General of India. In segment 1, we're going to bring you highlights of some ceremonial aspects of this evening. Let's take a look.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 2015 Deepavali celebrations hosted by the New South Wales Government. An occasion that is significant particularly to the Hindu Australian community and indeed the Hindu community across the world. My name is Mark Taylor, I'm the member for Seven Hills, and it's an absolute delight to welcome you here to Parliament today.
भूर्भवस्सुवः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् देवसवितः प्रसुवः सत्यं तत्तेन परिषिञ्चामि अमृतं भवतो अमृतो भस्तृणमसिः स्वाहा प्राणाय स्वाहा अपानाय स्वाहा व्यानाय स्वाहा उदानाय स्वाहा समानाय स्वाहा ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा श्रियै नमः फलं निवेदयामि प्रत्यक्षदीपं प्रदर्शयामि ॐ यो वेदाधो स्वरप्रोक्तो वेदान्तेजः प्रतिष्ठितः तस्य प्रकृतिलीनस्य च परस्वमहेश्वरः श्रियै नमः वेदोक्तमन्त्रपुष्पाञ्जलिं समर्पयामि समस्तोपचारां समर्पयामि इतन्ते दक्षिणतो वृषभे धियव्यः इन्द्रो जिजादिनपराजयाज अधिराजो राजसुराजयाति
Australians all let us rejoice, for we are young and free, with golden soil and wealth fertile. Our home is kept by sea, our land abounds in nature's gifts of beauty rich and rare. Jaya hai Bharat Bhagya Vidhata, Punjab Sindh Gujarat
Happy Diwali. Diwali is the most widely celebrated festival amongst our Hindu, Sikh, Buddhist and Jain communities. It is a time of prayer and spiritual renewal, as well as celebrating with family and friends, while of course enjoying the traditional foods. And we have some fine examples over there on display. Around the world today, colourful festivals take place to celebrate the Diwali Festival of Light. And of course, celebrations are taking place all around our state of New South Wales. Indeed, Diwali is now a firm fixture on the New South Wales parliamentary calendar each and every year, underlying the respect. It underlines the respect and friendship we share with our communities from the Indian subcontinent. Tonight, for me and for many others from all different cultures, it's clear that we're celebrating the triumph of light over darkness and good over evil. Events such as this show the spirit of our harmonious multicultural society and the joys of celebrating our diverse cultures. Here in New South Wales, as many of you would know, we come from 225 different birthplaces. We speak more than 200 languages and we practice at least 125 religions. And at the same time, we are one community and one family, always working together, always assisting each other. Our state, our community are the champions of diversity. We do our best to promote and protect our community harmony. We continue to work together to build on the strengths of our diversity and instill a sense of hope and opportunity for our entire community, from our youth to our seniors. I want to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for all that you do for our great state of New South Wales. I'm privileged to be part of a government under the leadership of our Premier, Mike Baird, who appreciates the immense benefits of a diverse and multicultural society, both socially and economically, as well as ensuring that our vulnerable are always looked after.
Welcome back, and we're continuing on in bringing you highlights of the Deepavali celebrations that happened in New South Wales Parliament House. Now we have a message from Premier Mike Baird. Let's take a look.
In terms of Happy Diwali to everyone, and as we come together to celebrate this wonderful festival, the understanding the row of lights, but ultimately the triumph of good over evil and light over darkness. We have that in New South Wales once every 4 years at state election time. But it's a story that resonates, and it resonates very deeply with so many cultures and so many backgrounds, and it's powerfully told in the story of Diwali. And I was reflecting last year when we lit up the Opera House, and the Opera House, which was turned orange, that image not only went across the country, not only went into India, but it went across the world. And Indian communities everywhere looked at that image. And I reflected, what was it the people were thinking about? And as I thought proudly about that, it was very clear. And that was, we are celebrating and very proud of multiculturalism in this state. Such an important festival to the Indian community is one that we all celebrate and acknowledge. And I think around the world we see many examples where there are challenges and tensions. But ultimately what we do here in New South Wales is treasure multiculturalism. We treasure our history and we treasure our future. And I think it's a great time to come together as we celebrate such an important event as Diwali. And I really just want to thank the Indian community. So I remember Prime Minister Modi, when he was out here, he was proud of you and your role that is being played in this great country. Your contribution to culture, your contribution to the economy, and it shouldn't be underestimated, so significant, and the contribution to the broad community. And we are so lucky and so proud to have the Indian community as part of this great state of New South Wales. And the Prime Minister, obviously an inspiring man with an incredible culture, an incredible vision for his country. And that is quite simple. He has an absolute understanding that he wants to grow the economy. He wants to build a huge array of infrastructure. Indeed, I thought we were building a significant amount of infrastructure here, but it's significantly dwarfed by the plans across India. And on the back of that, the expectation is that India will be the leading economy in the world over the next 10 years. That's right, the actual leading economy in the world. And on part of that, in itself, that is a great thing. It provides jobs and opportunities. But he's also very clear, and I think that's what resonates so deeply here in New South Wales and indeed across the country. That economic growth doesn't just come for the sake of it, it comes with a very clear purpose of his desire to raise hundreds of millions of people out of poverty. And on the back of the relationship that we have, we are part of that vision. We want to participate in that vision. And certainly it's something in the discussions that I have had with the Prime Minister, I encourage him to go forth and to have as much success as possible. And certainly I think we are at the dawn of a new era because the relationship between our countries gets stronger and stronger. The trade relationship, just in the last 12 months alone, has grown 66%. It's an amazing increase in trade, but I think it more importantly reflects the growing depth of relationship and friendship that goes across the top. And that's what it's about. It is that deep friendship that goes between this state and India and the communities that we represent as part of that. So whilst we have great hope in our Prime Minister and the Indian Prime Minister to continue to facilitate those trade opportunities, the depth of the relationship, ultimately it's up to all of us to participate that and to celebrate a very special time. So I say to everyone, happy Diwali. Thank you for the opportunity to come and share with you here tonight, and we look forward as we light up the Opera House as part of Diwali. Again, that strong symbol, not just to this state and across the country, but across the world, of how important multiculturalism is to this state and how important the Indian community is to the people of New South Wales. Thank you very much.
Welcome back to Aussie Indian, and we're continuing our broadcast of the highlights of the Deepavali celebrations that happened at New South Wales Parliament House. And now we're bringing you a message from the Consul General of India, His Excellency Mr. Sanjay Sudhir. So let's take a look.
Second time I'm here. It has been a short time I'm here, but then it's the second time I'm here, and I'm always very privileged to be here in this august company, in this august building, you know, the oldest parliament of Australia. And when I see this flag, you know, this colourful, this fluttering flag in the shape of New South Wales, it always strikes a chord with India and with Indians, because this reflects multiculturalism. And in India, our society, our history is all about multiculturalism, because India is home to all the leading religions of the world. So many religions were born in India. And one of the common things about all these religions has been that these religions come with their own celebrations, their own festivities. One of them is Diwali, and perhaps Diwali takes the cake. It's often said about, there is this Urdu poet, Mirza Ghalib, about whom it said that, I mean, I don't remember the exact words, but यूँ तो दुनिया में है और भी सुखनवर बहुत अच्छे, लेकिन गालिब का है अंदाज़े बयां और. Diwali is very, very special. In Diwali, lot of mythological stories are associated with Diwali, and Diwali probably originates from the Hindu tradition. I'll not go into the stories, but the common denominator of all these stories is celebration, and I think that's what we are doing here. Diwali is one of the very few celebrations which is celebrated across all religions of India, across the country, and not only the country, by the diaspora, wherever they are, whether it is Australia or wherever. And it's celebrated with friends, and that's very important. And also celebrated in august places like the Parliament. The one very special thing I feel about celebrating Diwali in Parliament is that this is a very clear indicator that the political leadership of the state attaches so much importance to this celebration. Every year it's celebrated here. The Parliament House is lit for about a fortnight. Of course, it will not happen this year, because if it were to be lit this year, we'll be lighting the scaffoldings, not the Parliament House. But I'm sure it will happen again next year. And the Honorable Premier mentioned about lighting of the Opera House last year, and the golden hue, and what Indians might be thinking in India when these pictures went to India. I'm sure the topmost thought in their mind would be that this is the heart of Sydney being lit up in such a warm light, and that's lovely. And I'm very confident that it will happen again this year. This year, another special thing which is happening in Australia is that Diwali would be celebrated in a big way in the federal parliament in Canberra on 23rd. The Premier mentioned about the trade figures, which are certainly going north, which are very, very impressive, and also investments which are very, very heartening. But I think the strength of a relationship cannot be measured entirely by trade or by investments or by exchange of high-level visits. It can be measured certainly by the people-to-people contact, the kind of warmth we have for each other, the kind of exchanges we have, visitors from India to Australia, Australia to India, and the number of Indians which have made Australia a home. And I think by those indicators, our countries are certainly very, very close. There is one difference in which the way Diwali is celebrated in India and Diwali is celebrated here. In India, we celebrate Diwali on a day, on a particular day. In New South Wales, it is celebrated probably over the month. And that's wonderful. And it's so good that we all join each other in all these celebrations. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, we hope you enjoyed all the highlights of the Deepavali festivities we brought to you in today's episode, and of course we'll continue to bring you highlights of community events in our forthcoming episodes. Also, in our future episodes, we'll continue to bring you interesting interviews for our sports fans out there. And of course, for our die-hard Bollywood fans, we'll continue to bring you Bollywood goss and Indian Newsweek. And if you guys would like to relive any of the interesting interviews and segments we bring to you on the show every single week, head on over to our social media pages. On Facebook, we are OzIndian Media, and on YouTube, we are OzIndian TV Sydney.